Hi there. And last time you saw me do this, it was over on the Crimson Cult channel, and it was with my better half. So if you haven't seen that video, and that means you may not be a part of my Patreon. So check in the link down below because we got a lot of really cool things coming up. Tonight, what I'm doing is a continuation of what I did with my last video, and I did Scream Factory: The Freshman Years. For those that don't know, what we basically did, and my better half was pretty brutal, so trust me, I want to see that video. Was we took 2012 and 2013, put them together, and included like the freshman years of Scream Factory, because pretty much there was only 7 titles released in 2012, and then there was another 30 odd released in 2013. We had a tier list that we had made, and with that, we went ranked every single one of these Scream Factory titles from basically S level, which is, awesomeness, right down to the bottom level, which is pretty much just kind of meh. Well, I'm doing that again. This year, I'm doing it on my own. It's a pretty big year too. It's 2014, and I'll be doing this one here on my regular channel, but I will also be I'll be going back and forth. So if you want to see the complete collection of them, that'll be between here and my Crimson Cult. But tonight we're doing 2014, and it's a big year for Scream Factory. There's some big things done in 2014. There's some really cool releases, and there's something that I think kind of starts to come forward where we can see a little bit of an issue, but we'll talk about that a little bit more as we start to get into the tier list. So let's do it. Hi there, and we're doing the Scream Factory 2014 list just as I promised, but this is actually my second time doing it because there's a couple titles missing when I first did it, and so here we go with our second try. And I want to do these in the right order, and I'll go through each one. I will try to be as fair, but still as honest and brutal as my better half can be with some of these releases. But we're going to start off with Cat People, a great title by Paul Schrader, a really great collector's edition too, one I definitely strongly recommend, and it's an easy A. That's an easy one to start with when it comes to this one. Now, around the same time the Cat People came out, we got another release as well, and that is Die Monster Die. Now, although I did like this title, the issue with Die Monster Die, and we would see this come forward with a couple of the older releases, is that it would be lacking special features. Now that's special features are good, and they're not a must-have, but when it's a boutique label, then it puts it down there to a C list for me, even if I do kind of like the movie. And Diamond is not like the best worst Karloff movie, but it's an okay fun little tale. And we follow that up with Beasts of Hollow Mountain and Neanderthal Man, which I thought are fun, but I like less than Die Monster Die. And it was the first double feature to really not give us anything when it came to special features or anything. And when you got to move movies like they may be harder to find like features or something for, but get somebody to come on do a interview. I'm going to say this right now. This is my hot take. The future of like boutique labels, like special features, are right here on YouTube, and you're going to see that more often. You're going to start to see more like kind of especially more popular YouTubers, and hopefully some more niche ones. Hopefully somebody like me, being filming something for a special like special features for a disc or doing a commentary. Heath from Syrup Midnight is doing his first commentary, and congratulations to Heath because I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job. Brian from Just to This podcast, and of course now Just to This YouTube channel, has done a commentary as well, and I know he did a great job on it. So that's the future of special feature. If you got a movie that's older, trust me, there's somebody that's looked at it, whether it's going to be me or Dark Corners or somebody doing like the Doctor Who stuff that we see on there, or Late Never Saw. There's just some great people doing stuff that are just Blu-ray, 4K quality, special features where they really dive into things. And that's my side rant for today. Now we follow this up though with a couple really really good ones, a couple of easy A's for me, and we start that out here with the utterly fantastic Night of the Demons, a great one with Linnea Quigley and Amelia Kincaid, who was actually related to Rue McClanahan from Golden Girls. So there you go. Now I think her job, she's like a pet psychic. I'm pretty sure she's talked about on the special features. It's been a while, but it was really interesting. That again, features like that, see, are the type of things that you want to see on these here. And I'm going to give Witchboard. I think I'm going to give that an A as well. No, it's kind of a spoiler or look behind the curtains. I gave this a B initially, but I do think it was unfair to Witchboard when I was first filming this. So this one is going to get an easy B. Now, with Witchboard being done, we come up to Darkman, Sam Raimi's classic that literally got him the job to do Spider-Man, and what a job he did. He did a fantastic job with the Spider-Man, but for me, like Darkman is his true classic title. And what's really neat about Darkman is this one here has an extra bonus feature that's not listed. And I love when they say like either they'll list down, more included or and more. And it's oftentimes when companies say that, that's not there. But this one wasn't even listed at all. There wasn't and more put there. But there's a Liam Neeson like interview inside here that's not like advertised on the slipcover. And Darkman is followed by their first kind of crossover from their Shout Factory releases, and this is a double feature: Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours. The two favorite films of mine. If I was asked like which one of these two I like better, it's really hard because I like both of these films a lot. We got Jennifer Rubin in Bad Dreams, Richard Lynch, Craig Wasson. We have Visiting Hours here with William Shatner, with the incomparable Michael Ironside and Linda Pearl. Just an incredible cast. And it is easily, and you can see me gushing about it, the first S. And I'll tell you one of the big reasons why, aside from, well, there's a bias for me because I love both these films, but it's also because they didn't just give us, okay, this is a Blu-ray upgrade, so you got Blu-ray, so there's nothing else. No, they actually put extra. One of the films didn't have really any feature on it, maybe theatrical trailer, but we got an upgrade not just from DVD to Blu-ray, but we got an upgrade with an extra feature, so that now both of the films have special features and not just one. And we get another A. Also, I'm sorry, did I say A? I definitely mean S because it is Slumber Party Massacre. Now, initially, when Slumber Party Massacre was put out by Shout Factory, it was put out on DVD as a trilogy, as a 3-pack. I think there's a reasoning behind the reason that they couldn't put Slumber Party Massacre out as a trilogy on Blu-ray, and we'll get to Slumber Party Massacre in another year. For those that aren't aware or have just came in and have never seen me doing this on Patreon, I did the first 2 years again, like I mentioned in the introduction. And this is the start of a Scream Factory project that if you guys like it, what I'll do is maybe once a month or once every couple of weeks, I will do another year like this, sometimes on my own, sometimes with a guest, and we'll go through the year in Scream Factory and we would do a listing, talk about the titles, and talk about our thoughts on them and kind of rank them. So that's what we're doing here for 2014. My initial one, the freshman years, 2012 and 2013, we're done with my better half, and I will hopefully get some guests along the way. And we followed this up with a Larry Fassbender film. It wouldn't be the last time we saw Larry Fassbender, but this would be like his first time on Scream Factory. And it would be a little movie called Beneath. And Beneath is easily, like I know some people would probably put this a little bit lower, but for me, I'm going to put it in a B because I really did like this film. Not quite topping in the A category, but it is a really good kind of like low budget indie film that has a really decent story to it that I really enjoyed. Next up is Dead Shadows. It's if I'm correct, this is a French film, which I'm going to definitely put into the D category, not because I really think badly or of this film, it's because I bought this film, and I've never watched it. That's the truth of the matter. So if it hasn't intrigued me enough to watch it yet, and I'm sure I'll eventually get around to it. If you guys like think this is a fantastic movie and I should watch it, let me know. But as for right now, it hasn't intrigued me enough to even to open the disc. Obviously, I can't do it now because it's not here. But so we got Dead Shadows, and it follows up with Final Exam. Now, here's the thing: Final Exam is a slasher film, and I think slashers do really well on the Scream Factory label, extraordinarily well, to be totally honest with you. But Final Exam, when I initially saw this movie, was not one of my favorite slasher films. I enjoyed it once I got it, and Scream Factory definitely their presentation of the film like heightened it, and that's why Final Exam can get an easy B for me. Whereas if this was like the VHS or a no or just another company put out Final Exam, was pretty much like bare bones, or I probably would be that probably go in the C category. Now we get to Evil Speak. Now I'm pretty sure I got some friends that really hate this film. I'm not one of those people though. Evil Speak to me was hilarious. It was fun. It was Carrie. Everybody absolutely hated her, and there was no reprise. So Evil Speak again is an easy beat for me. And I know this is going to seem shocking to some people, but I had a lot of fun with Evil Speak. Nosferatu the Vampire. It's Klaus Kinski. It's Werner Herzog. It is beautiful. There's not a lot of special features on this one, but it is a gorgeous film, and I cannot put that in anything less than an A, to be honest with you. Sleepaway Camp, the utter classic that is Sleepaway Camp, easily, easily hits the S tier. This is a different slasher. A lot of people, when they look at Sleepaway Camp now, they'll say, well, it's most famous for its ending. I mean, like, how can you not be most famous when that's your end, for your ending, when that's your ending? But there are some quirky campiness to Sleepaway Camp that really works. Felissa Rose, so she was young at the time. She did a great job in the role that she had to do. There were some good kills, some actually extremely good kills in this film, and it's a slasher. I'm looking for the kills, but it was different. It was unique, and it was very much looked like an indie project. But there are some sequences in this film that just keep you coming back to watch it over and over again. There are a lot of quotable parts in Sleepaway Camp, especially the unusual aunt character. And I think she has passed away now, so rest in peace. But she did an amazing job in this film. We come up next to Ravenous, and I know Ravenous is something that a lot of people are huge fans of, and I liked it. I mean, I really did like it, but I find it hard to put it higher than a B or a C. I'm going to put it in the B category, but it's not one of those films that is going to be something that I watch over and over again. I actually haven't even bought the Scream Factory edition of it yet. I've seen it before, and I think I had a DVD of it somewhere. Eventually, I'll buy the Scream Factory, or if it comes out by another company down the road. But it was not one of those that ever really stood out to me. Now we follow this up with the Monkey's Paw, and again, this is one that I got on Halloween. I watched, and to for the life of me, I don't remember anything about this film. I know it had a fairly decent cast. I definitely know what the Monkey's Pie is, but I don't remember anything about the film, so I can't tell you. No, Fauna Terror I liked a lot. It has a great cast in it. We got Adrian Zmed, we got Daryl Hannah, I think Rachel Ward in this one as well. Just an incredible Joe Pantoliano, I think, is in this one too. An incredible cast. Now this is not so much a slasher film, but people tend to think it is because of the cover and because of the way that's done. But easy B category, Terry. So I put it up there with Final Exam, though I think it's a bit better than Final Exam. Almost goes into the A category, but just misses by a smidge. Lake Placid is another title that I thought was really fun. Rest in peace, Betty White. I saw this one in the theater and I really enjoyed it. Way more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. Actually, done by the guy that did Alan McBeal. and I'll put Lake Placid. That's the I guess maybe one of the first monster ones to get into a I guess Cat People's kind of monster one to get into the A category right now. And with Lake Placid, we followed up with Deadly Eyes, and this is where things are going to go off the rails for some people, because I liked Deadly Eyes, I really did. This has Lisa Langolas. We previously heard her in the movie The Nest on the last one. It's up on my Patreon video if you want to check that one out to find out exactly where The Nest rated. But I really like Deadly Eyes. I think it is definitely an A tier. It almost goes to the S tier. I just like it that much. It's one I've rewatched over and over again. It's an exploitation film about killer rats, but it doesn't like shy away from anything. There's one sequence in this film, near the beginning of the film, where this girl has her. She's feeding her kid. He's in his high chair, and she has friends over. She's obviously become like the friend that that has a kid, but she's got like friends over from high school and that they're all together. And she goes to say goodbye to her friends. And when she comes back to the kitchen, there is no kid in the high chair, and there is a big hole in the wall and a line and a streak of blood. It is horrifying, and you're like, it went there. It really went there. And I enjoyed the movie. It was really well done. I always like anything that Lisa Goldis in. Um, so I'll try to buy movies that she is. She's a kind of like a Canadian scream queen. She's a bit unheralded for all the stuff she's done. You probably saw her, if you never saw Daily Eyes and you never saw The Nest, you probably saw her in the movie Class of 1984. We follow up Daily Eyes with another classic exploitation one, and one that hits into the S category in a very, very easy way. One of the greatest were films of all time, and one of my favorites, Ginger Snaps. It is a classic up there. I'm going to say it up the line with the American Werewolf in London's and the Howling and titles like that. I really think that Ginger Snaps just puts a new spin on the werewolf mythos, and we got Catherine Isabelle in here making her horror debut. She's just incredible in this film as Ginger. And there will be two more Ginger Snaps films, and I really, really would love to see them come out from Scream Factory. And we followed up with another fantastic title and another one that's going to get an S tier for me, and that is Phantom of the Paradise. I love this film. This is a musical done extremely right. And what's really great about this musical is the lead in this, the star of Phantom of the Paradise, Paul Williams. He is incredibly good. He actually has written all, and composed all the music for this movie. And this movie uses different like genres and musical stylings in there. And under anybody else, this would not work as well. But under Paul Williams, it works fantastically. We've got the amazing Jessica Harper in here. Of course, she is also in Suspiria, but she gets to show off her singing chops here, which she would also do in the movie Shock Treatment. But Phantom of the Paradise has always been a personal favorite of mine. I know my kids love it as well, and it still blows my mind that Paul Williams got to sing just the hell of it on the Nancy Drew Hardy Buzz show. Because if you ever heard the song, then you're going to know that that's surprising. It was for kids, so to have that song go like that. And Without Warning is a fun little title with a lot of big actors in them, but it's probably going to get a C from me. And it's not because I don't like the film, it's because just in relation to everything else here. And with that being said, I'm going to be honest. Ravenous has got to go lower than Without Warning. I will watch Without Warning again probably before I watch Ravenous. The next is a classic, and again an easy A with Motel Hell. It had a great cover, excellent special features. It's a really fun little film, and it's one of those movies that is kind of it's pretty much tongue in cheek or tongue through cheek, if you want to put it that way, in that you could probably get off with showing it to somebody that's not really a horror fan, just because it's constructed that well, and there's enough comedy into it to be its saving grace for people that don't like horror. And After Motel is one that I was really surprised that the Scream Factory put out. Actually, it's a Scream Factory title, and don't take this my ranking of this one as my thoughts on the film itself. This one is I'm ranking this one in the tier it goes in because it's Scream Factory, and I don't think it really fits. So Leviathan is getting a C, and honestly, I'd probably give it a D otherwise because although I do like the movie Leviathan, I think it's a fun little film. I still have the MGM release with the lenticular cover. It doesn't Scream Factory to me, but the next one does, and it's a definite B. And I almost want to give it an A. But Legend of Hell House is a really fun film. I really enjoyed this, and it is a great little release. The cover, there's like an alternate artwork cover, but they're very similar. So I'm going to put it in B there, but I'm probably going to kick myself later. After Legend of Hell House, we have the classic Pumpkinhead, which again, easy A for me. I love this film. Lance Henriksen is fantastic. I'm almost tempted to put this into the S category, and we might be by the time I start ranking these. And we followed it up with a newer film, The Battery. And The Battery definitely gets an easy B. It's a great zombie film. It takes a very different direction with the way that it does zombies, and the way that it talks about the survivors. It's a very personal, character-driven piece. Don't think that's going to be boring, or it's not. It's actually really interesting. It's almost kind of like a almost comedic yet heartbreaking sequence where he's in the car and he sees a female zombie. And I won't go any more into it than that. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly the scene I'm talking about. And it depends on how you took it. All right, September 23rd will go down in history as one of the greatest days ever for Scream Factory, because September 23rd, Scream Factory had and were able to release something that nobody thought was ever going to be put out, ever. We thought we'd get a Friday 13th box set. We thought we might get a Nightmare on Elm Street box set, but because of all the different companies and all the different rights issues, we thought that I don't think any collector thought that unless it was a bootleg from like another country, we would never get a legitimate like standard really good release for the Halloween franchise. And boy, were we wrong, because Scream Factory pulls out all the bells and whistles and gives us not one but two versions of a complete Halloween box set. The first version has everything. It has 15 discs. It has alternate versions of like different films, and it has for the very first time not just one cut of Halloween 6, which for those that don't know, you could get like you could get it like not great, but you could get it on DVD. I'm not sure if we even had a Blu-ray release, but we finally got the producer's cut, something that you would have to go to conventions or go online, and like pay to get it sent to you or try to find a way to get it. But we got a Blu-ray remastered edition with tons of special features of the producer's cut of Halloween 6, one of the pretty much big the biggest releases for any like slasher fan and especially a Halloween fan. So it's no surprise to see Halloween go up into the collector's box going up into the S category. How about the Halloween, the other set that they put out, the 10 disc set? Now here's the thing: they put out the Halloween collector's edition for people that wanted that extra, that wanted Part 6, wanted to get all those releases. Now some people couldn't afford it, didn't care about it, or they just wanted to get the Halloween films so they could watch them all together. And for a really great price, actually, this is low enough that I'm at sometimes that I kind of kick myself for not getting it. Just have a backup, and that's the 10 disc set. It doesn't have any of the extra special features disc or Halloween 6, the producer's cut, but it's still a great release. And with the price points that it eventually got on, it's easy to put into the S category as well. Though it'll never be up there with the 15 disc set. That's the thing that honestly, I think any horror fan probably pretty much has this. Like if you like Halloween, this is on your shelf. This is one of the ones that you look at and you're like, I can't believe I've got this still to this day. And I know like recently they put out the 4K editions and people say, well, we got the, but this was, these here, this box set came out in 2014 and the 4K editions just came out recently in the last year. So I think that's a long enough space. Some people say, well, they put out a Blu-ray, then they put out a 4K release where you got a good, what, 7 years, 7, 8 years before you got a 4K release of any of these films. I think that's a solid enough time window when you get sometimes now when they put out a 4K, a company put out a 4K and then like 3 months later they put out a Blu-ray and then 3 months later they put out the 4K release. So I think it's a really good, really well done. Next up is a series you guys may have forgotten. I don't even think it's on. I don't think it is on Netflix anymore. But it was a little series called Hemlock Grove. I thought the first season was actually really good, and I was a bit disappointed with the follow-up seasons. I can see why it actually fell off after a while. Great casting. Trust me, go back and look at this one. This actually has a really great cast in it. But for the first season of Hemlock Grove and the fact that it's a physical media release for a TV series like this, definitely an easy B category. I'm almost up into the A actually. He followed us off with The Squad, and The Squad is maybe a fantastic film. I never saw it, and nor did I ever buy it, so it's getting an easy D right there. And Vincent Price Collection number 2. 2013 had the original Vincent Price Collection. And if you're wondering about my thoughts on that, well, again, I steer you towards our Patreon where we talked about 2012 and 2013, and not just me, but me and my better half. But Vincent Price Collection Volume 2 has The Last Man on Earth, Comedy of Terrors, Dr. Phibes Rise Again. The original Dr. Phibes was on the first box set. To Malaysia, The Raven, Return of the Fly, and The House on Haunted Hill. Some of these releases had gotten like, some of these films have gotten releases, kind of like iffy releases throughout the years. House on Haunted Hill and Last Man on Earth, we'd always seen get like really kind of like crappier releases. Something that this one didn't. They did a great job with this, and it is an easy S. Let's follow this up with Nightbreed. All right. So for those that found my channel through this, when Nightbreed initially came out, I was extremely upset over the fact that Nightbreed was going to be costing so much money for the limited edition hard box of the film. I actually did a video back in the day, back in 2014. You can actually look it up. It's one of my most watched videos, actually, called Shame on You Scream Factory. I was very upset about the pricing. I ended up buying 2 copies of the film, of the limited edition one. First, I wasn't going to. Initially, I just bought the director's cut on its own. And then I realized I really love Nightbreed. It's one of my favorites. And ended up buying a copy for myself and a copy for my oldest daughter as well. So for the director's cut of Nightbreed, I'll give that one an A. But for the limited edition copy of Nightbreed, where I said shame on you Scream Factory and became one of my biggest videos, I have to give that an S. It really belongs in that category. And we get to Squirm. I like Squirm. It's a fun film, but I'm sorry, I couldn't above a B with Squirm. Actually, going to a C. I'm gonna be honest. Not that it's a bad film. It's just it's Squirm, guys. Doctor and the Devils again, another good film, but it hits in the C category for me. Just me personally. That's where it goes. And we follow this up with a title that I really enjoy. The Dolls was such a well done release by Scream Factory that I legitimately took the box sets that came out from the companies that year and the singles that came out from all the companies that year. And when I did my best of 2014, I had my best of in the box set area and I had my best of in the singles area. And for those that don't remember, Dolls was what I considered and look at all the stuff that's come out here, the best release, not just from Scream Factory, but from any company for me for 2014. I stick by that and put it in the S category. Pumpkinhead 2, not gonna lie, it's an A. I actually like it better than Pumpkinhead. And I know that's sacrilege to say, but it's just cheesy fun. I think I can watch Pumpkinhead like once a year just because of the type of film that it is. It's like that kind of Halloween type film. Pumpkinhead 2 I can put on at any time. If it's on TV, I'll just watch it because there's a lot of stunt casting. It's just a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. We followed this up with two Romero films, The Dark Half and Monkey Shines. For me, I enjoyed both of these films. I think The Dark Half may be a bit better than Monkey Shines, but I'm going to put them both in the B category. I remember doing reviews on these here, and I was going to do like a film versus book adaptation for these here, and eventually I may do some of these down the road. And not in the way that they're done with from like the amazing guy that does the book to film. Things like won't do them like that. He's too good to follow. But we follow this off with Tales from the Crypt, a Vault of Horror, and that again is an I missed one here, didn't I? I just want to see if I missed a release because I feel like I missed something because I'm seeing a title here and yeah, I did some Life Force. Somehow I missed Life Force. Easy B, though my better half would probably put lower. I almost thought that Life Force was done in 2013 though. Just check to make sure. Because I find it odd that Life Force is on here, and I am sure it was 2013. This one's not supposed to be on here, and did it get a B? No, it didn't. You'll see what it got in the other list. Some reason it got ported over into this list as well. But we have two left: the double feature Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror. As a fan of both of these, that is a very, very easy A, almost into S category. And the last title of that year was Lord of Illusions, another Clive Barker classic film that I really enjoy. I would love to see more of Harry Dean Moore, but unfortunately we did not get any more from the character or from Clive Barker. But I'll easily put this one into the A category as well. And there you go. If I was going to like list anything first on here, obviously the Halloween box set would get the top ranking on the list. If I was going to list anything first into the B category, then I would probably say I really want to put Daily Eyes, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say probably Night of the Demons for the first ranking one for right here on under the B category. There's a lot of good titles here that I could put in first place, but I just got so much fun out of Evil Speak that that's going there. And the C ones where things are a bit more meh. I think I'm going to keep things pretty much as they are, but putting without warning in the first place. And down here, it really doesn't matter, but the double feature stays into the first place there. So there you go. That is the complete list of Scream Factory 2014. And that has been part two of the Scream Factory project. If you have seen part one and you haven't commented on it yet or you haven't got to check it out on if you're a Crimson Cult member, please check it out on my Patreon because it wasn't just me, my better half took a lot of time out to do that as well. I will try to get a guest host on here for the next one, but 2014 seemed like to be one that was a personal favorite of mine and something I could actually sit down and talk to you guys about. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you soon right here in the Cult Cinema.